People always ask me, how do I stop procrastinating? Oh, the irony. You're procrastinating right now, aren't you? Well, let's get something out of it together, shall we? Not what you should be doing. Let's procrastinate. That's the whole point of this. Anyway, here it is. Yeah.
A better you starts today.
So often, this would have to be the most asked question that I ever get, which is, I waste so much time. I'm so scared of wasting time. I feel my life wasting away. I feel like one of those little people in the dungeon that are always like nothing but bones and skin and just a little heart beating out of it. Beep, 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 beep. That's my internal fortitude to complete my task. Can I have a scrap? Just a scrap of resistance against my most base urges, my lord. No! I'm putting my dick in your hand and you're going to jack it off, you little skin and bones man. You know, that's and then he eats the cum and he's alive for another day. Good for him. So that was a happy ending, wasn't it? Yeah, so that's how most people feel about procrastination, don't they? Well, let's just go into the psychology of procrastination for a second. After I pitch to you, Jordan Shanks, you should sign up to it now for 3 extra videos a week where I, instead of just giving you annoying ads in the middle of probably, let's be honest, more ads that are getting played over the top of this, I will be giving you sage advice week after week, up to 3 extra videos a week, cheap as chips. You know what? Cheaper than chips. Cheaper than fucking chips. You going to the vending machine and go, no, I'm fat. You could instead be going to me, pressing on the button, I'll be like, get up, you piece of shit! Do something with your life! And you'll be like, okay. And then you'll do that instead. Isn't that so much better? Honestly, you go and get one of those meal plans and you're like, I'm just spending $10 and I'm saving so much money on that. Yeah, well, get all the savings that you're not spending on fucking Uber Eats and put just a tiny fraction into that. Because every dollar that you invest in yourself, you get back 100-fold. I know from experience. That's how I am where I am today. Now, let's go on and talk about procrastination. Sorry about that. Come see my live show at Seminar in Melbourne as well. Oh, double whammy. Oh, now that's productive. So you have come to the right place. 2, find out about procrastination. Wellity. Let's look into the psychology of procrastination. What do you think is happening when you're saying, I've got this big exam and I'm not studying for it? Instead, I am doing anything else but studying. You insert your own little vices in there. I can't be bothered to think of it more. Because I just go back to the same ones. I'm so bored of them. So, what you are doing in that time is you are looking at something that is big, that you know that when you sit down and do that task, you ain't going to finish it. And that makes you feel bad, doesn't it? Poor little mousey. Wants the cheese in the little trap, can't do it. Pussy, just go eat the cheese and bam, deal with the pain. And you get the reward of the cheese. Right? That's what I'm saying. The first thing is that most people do not want to put up with the pain of having to put up with not completing a task, because everybody likes the nice little, ooh, yay, I cleaned my room. That was so good. Now it's, yay, and I've been in here for 20 minutes and it looks like shit again. But people like the end result of kind of clean. It does taste like what I'd imagine pine cones would taste like. Don't need to go to hospital from ingesting it. That's what's happening in your day-to-day life. You like completing tasks. The reason that you don't complete the ones that you're procrastinating on is because you don't get that nice little dopamine hit of, yay, it's done. So you don't. And instead you just go and do a bunch of smaller things, usually the internet. Are you doing it right now? Hashtag you can relate, year 12ers. That's probably what's happening. Instead of doing what you're supposed to be doing, which is your little chemistry exams or whatever the fuck. It's all bullshit, by the way. Trust Jordan Shanks. Everything that chemistry ever came up with is a lie. That's what you should write in your HSC. You'll get 100%, guaranteed. But yes, that's what's happening there. That's what's happening there. You are being a little piece of dung, and you are not dealing with the pain of realizing when I get up and move out of this desk, it's not going to be complete. That's why you don't want to do it. That's pretty much it. And so as a result, you feel like a failure. So you do a bunch of things instead that make you feel like you're a success. I made a sandwich. I know how to do that. Yum, 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 yum. Oh, this one I accidentally put rat poison in. Oh, well, usually I'm successful at it. I don't now can call the hospital. That's another way to procrastinate. Hello, I just suggested poison. Oh, this isn't the poison hotline. This is Dan Murphy's. Well, that's a different type of poison. Maybe if I drink alcohol, it'll... No, it didn't. Now I'm really fucked. Right? So that's what you're doing with your time. You are looking for things that are going to make you feel like, I completed that, and give yourself this nice little self-esteem boost. Yes, I did that. Instead of the thing that I don't know if I can finish it or not. You know, every year it gets easier and easier for me to write a stand-up show. Why is that? Because I have now half a decade of whatever the word is, verifiable facts that I can complete a stand-up show. It was so hard to do the first one, hard to do the second. Let's be honest, still hard to do now. But the point is that when it comes to procrastinating, I do not do much of it. And I also didn't do much of it because I also had a bunch of other little tips and tricks that you can learn on Jordan Shanks to get you back into the zone, and so you start completing it. But the overall overarching psychology of procrastination is, I will feel like a loser at the end of this because I didn't get my little it's completed fix. And there's also the other part of, this is a big task, and therefore I don't know if I'm going to get my little dopamine fix at the end because I am doing something that is more complicated than I'm usually used to. These are the things that you will procrastinate on. The things that do not give you the little reward system of, I've done it before, so I know that I can get that little but those are not the things that are going to advance you in life. So you need to understand that crucial part about procrastination first. Just that part. Before we can even get into the little mind games of it, you need to understand that the reason you are procrastinating from it is because you feel like a loser when you do it. Everyone does. Isn't that insane? Because the thing is, honestly, ironically, if you think about it, you're a loser every second that you are not focusing on your main important tasks in life. Can you refute it? No, of course you can't. I'll tell you what does make a successful person. Somebody that does spend all of their time focusing on important tasks and then just leaving things that aren't that important to the wayside. Now, here's the adverse little piece of advice that I would like to give to you, which is, just because you are procrastinating doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be a waste of time. I'm not even telling you that you don't have to procrastinate anymore. How nice is that? God, I'm a very charitable person, aren't I? Much like the most charitable organization on earth, Hamas. Yeah, so what I'm saying is that you should definitely do, not little weird dog whistles in the middle of videos, you should sit there instead. And when you are procrastinating, you know that you're doing it most of the time and you feel bad doing it. What if you started procrastinating on things that at least were important to you in some way? They're not going to be as important as the most important thing that you're doing in the day, but they will be important to some degree. That might be responding to emails, paying parking ticket fines. Fucking hell, they're getting more expensive, aren't they? Thank you very much, Chris Mins. So they've got that, and then you've also got, obviously, cleaning, and then you've got checking your mail, your physical mail. We've already got through email. It still exists, kids. And then we've also got, I don't know, fingering your girlfriend, whatever. The thing is, you should be doing things in your time where you are procrastinating that are still moving you forward in your life. That's at least the bare minimum of what you should do. Because the other thing that you need to understand is there is just a point where you are focusing on something that takes a lot of brain capacity that you go out. Now, I'm not saying that as soon as you feel that feeling of like, oh, I've done too much. Okay, time to sit down and watch Rick and Morty again, which I'm doing. It's pathetic. So much Rick and Morty. But instead of doing that, go focus on something else. Because when you are procrastinating, it is your brain being like, I cannot focus on this one thing for too long. There's two reasons for it. It's that I don't want to start because I feel like a loser at the end. And then when you are doing it, because your brain just likes doing what it's doing, it'll keep going. And then at some point it'll be like, oh, I'm done, and then move. Now, I'm saying that when you get to that point, stick around for another 10 minutes. Put a timer on, stick there for 10 minutes. Even if you're sitting there going, and nothing's coming. Just stick at the task for another 10 minutes. Why? You are building up gristle. Gristle's very important. You can sign to Jordan Shanks to find out why. But it is just expanding the amount of time that you can sit there and focus instead of just going, that's enough. But anyway, when you are in that stage, what you should be doing is procrastinating on things that are still important and are still moving you towards your life, because there are just a bunch of things that you can do. It's not always just the elephant in the room. There is also a wildebeest, much smaller animal, crocodile, that's, your bill's not getting paid, so you should be like, throw money in its mouth and be like, I'll see you next week. There's a bunch of things that you can do. So do those things as your procrastination. Make sure that you understand when you are procrastinating. Now, if you have that mental framework of why you're procrastinating, those are the two major reasons that you are. Psychologically, you feel like a loser at the end because you haven't fulfilled the task, which, by the way, you shouldn't feel like that. You should feel elation for starting. That's the big victory. But then the second thing is, on top of that, you are going to feel like a loser you're going to just want to procrastinate at the end. And then usually you're going to do something that completely wastes your time. Instead, you procrastinate on things that are still moving you forward. Just more menial, not using your brain as much tasks. That's what you procrastinate on. A lot of people some people procrastinate by playing video games. Other people procrastinate by going to the gym. Same thing.